here we are. Remember, this posture clinic is for you guys to break down questions you have about your own practice too. There's quite a lot of fun to be had dealing with this whole idea, huh? Right? So let's practice saying the name of the posture. Dandayamana, Janu, Shavasana. Yeah, Dandayamana means standing. Because you see the word Janu Shavasana a couple times in the class, right? You see it like 3 times, huh? Do you remember what Janu means? Yes, John. Oh, do you remember what Janu means? Yes, the knee. And Shirsha is the head. So when you put the Janu to the Shirsha, you have Janu. You could say Shirshasana. You could say Janu Shirasana, which is a lot easier. Or Janu Shirasasana, which I'm told is correct, which is just silly. So what do you say? Janu Shirasana? There you go. Let's say it. Dandayamana? Janu Shirasana. All right. And the English name, of course, standing, forehead to knee. All right. So, Julia, can I have you stand up and put a foot in the air? All right. Now, this is something I'm really excited for us to learn about, guys. The foot muscles that inform balance, okay? Now, Julia is standing here with her feet, and we're bringing them closer together. And did you decide that you liked the heels kicked out a little bit? Or did you decide you like them together? Because I remember we were talking about ankles and stuff. Okay. All right. Now, everybody, look into the mirror at Julia's feet, and they're lovely. They're beautiful. Everybody's feet are like a fingerprint. I'm fascinated with just how different they always are. But one thing that is universal in feet is that we have muscles that live on the lateral edge of your lower leg and muscles that live behind the ankle on the inside, the medial aspect of your lower leg. Peroneus longus are the muscles on the outer, and tibialis posterior are the muscles on the inner, behind the ankle. These muscles are important because they wrap under the foot and create the arch. Okay, so everybody, while Julia's standing here, put one of your feet on the floor and put your fingers on the side, the lateral aspect of your leg, below your knee, and wiggle your foot back and forth a little bit and feel where you can feel the muscle activate. Again, everyone place your fingers down low at your ankle, that's one thing. Keep your foot flat, put your fingers to the middle of the lower lateral edge, and now kind of wiggle your foot side to side. Like you're balancing. You can kind of feel these muscles twitch around, right? All right, similarly, the muscles behind the ankle, tibialis posterior, they're involved too. And so put your fingers behind your ankle and wiggle your foot around like you're getting balanced. And you can feel the muscle jump around, right? Well, these two muscles live underneath your foot. They wrap around and create your arch. Now, everybody, place your big toe mound deeper into the floor and lift your big toe. So the ball of the foot, that's a part where these muscles attach. The knife edge, called the fifth metatarsal, this is also where the muscles attach. And the very middle of your heel bone, the calcaneus. So these muscles attach at the big toe mound, the knife edge, and the heel point. Now what's important about that is the arches. Some of our arches touch the floor, some of them are a little lifted. Both are best. It's just how your feet are put together. But the important thing for balancing is to know this. When one foot is on the floor and the other is in the air foot is informing the floor foot. So stand tall, Julia. Shift your work to your left leg, lift your right knee. Now hold right there. Relax this foot, which you would never do in the posture. But guys, even with this low light, can you see how her foot is kind of struggling? How is she compensating to stay afloat here? Gripping the toes. And can you see from there, Pamela, when she grips the toes, the arch falls even flatter, huh? Now watch a magic trick. Flex the top toes in the air. Lift your toes. Yes, dorsiflexion. I'm going to move your foot just a little bit forward here so we're stacked up. Look at the stability now. She's able, by spreading the toes in the air even a little bit, look, it's a lot more stable. Change. Let's do a second side. Stand firm into your right leg, lift your left knee. And let's try again. Before, dip your toes down. Look at how the arch is fallen, and look, the toes have to claw to stay balanced. But when you lift the toes in the air, look, you can see these muscles jump around and get to work. Peroneus longus, tibialis posterior. The arch is lifting. She's pressing through the ball of the foot, knife edge, and the heel point. Change. So that's a very important thing for us to help our students understand. It's going to come in handy throughout Posture Clinic all afternoon. Thank you for that. All right. Yeah. So now, Pamela, can I have you stand up? Bring your feet together, toes and heels to touch. Now, are you a person that likes the heels away from each other, close in? What are you feeling like? Close in? All right, now, guys, here we are. Let's say to Pamela, Dandayamana, Janusharasana, standing head to knee pose. Yeah. What's the first cue we would say to her? Not so much. If we're doing Hatha, it's not about holding the hip yet. That's our power variation with Uttita Hasta Padangusasana. Yeah, you could shift your work to the side. What would you say?
So kind of the same thing.
Yeah, because in the end, what do we want her to do? Pamela, do what?
Shift your weight to your left side.
Okay. In order to do what? Tell her. Okay, so lift your what?
Right leg.
Let's go knee. Show me lift your right leg. Show me lift your knee. Yeah, lift your knee. Lift your knee where, guys?
To your hip, to the level.
To hip height, right. Why is hip height helpful?
So they know how high.
This is true. To say hip height, she knows how high. And why do we need it at this parallel level? Keeps her spine straight. Watch. Pamela, if she dips her knee lower, probably going to cause some strain on her back, huh? What if she lifts her knee way higher? Yeah, if she were healing in her low back, what would you want her to do? Hold your knee. Yeah, show me if you were really healing in your low back and you would want 2 hands on your knee. Yeah, this is a fine place to be. If somebody has a lot of back pain, this really helps because anytime your knee is in your chest, it makes your lumbar curve its most natural shape, doesn't it? This is one of the stretches we prescribe for low back pain, the McArdle stretch. When people are on their back, this is what doctors always prescribe. Lay on your back, bring your knees to your chest. Change. All right, now, here we go. How do we initiate the other side? What do we start off saying? Do we say the name of the pose again? What do we say? Okay, change. Second side. Yeah, there you go. Second side. All right, let's tell her. What do we say?
Shift your weight into your left second side.
All right.
Second side. Shift your right leg.
Uh-huh.
Left side. Lift your left knee.
I would also say stand up.
Exactly. Yeah, stand up nice and tall. Lift your left knee to the height of your hip. Yeah, so right here, how would you tell somebody to stand up straight? Stand up straight. Yeah, where should you look to stand up straight? Lift your shoulders, like here?
Relax your shoulders.
Take a deep breath and relax your shoulders.
Okay, all right. So lift your chest, right? Relax your shoulders down and back. Look where? Look at the horizon. Yeah, and the mirror is going to probably get you there. Why do we need to look exactly at the horizon? Because watch, if she looks at the floor, now lift your left knee to the height of your hip, Pamela. Look at, there's no way that's going to be good, huh? What will hurt her? Her neck, and look at her foot. She's having to claw the mat. All right, so how would you fix this? If she was here, what would you say? What would you say? Look in the mirror. Yeah, look at the horizon. Yeah. And how else would we Bring her knee up. Yeah, lift your knee to the height of your hip. There you go. Now, what's a good word? If she had floppy toes, what would we say? Flex your toes. I like top toes, aerial foot, or left foot. See how you can change that up so people understand which is left and right. Change. Okay, great. So any questions or problems in your back or things that you're curious about this posture that you've always wanted to know? Okay. All right. So guys, let's all stand on up. My goal is to cue you through the beginning, the middle, and the end of a first set in real time, but then stop and debrief. I want to hear questions. I want to hear about things you need to understand about this posture, because that's the goal of Posture Clinic. Okay, guys? All right. Now, I'm really interested in, hold, not change nothing. I'm really interested in what feet are doing all the time. And when we learn about different opportunities for alignment, if you want feet hip distance apart, that's fine, but look in the mirror and see, do you see the heel points? If that's true, then how can we explain what to do next? Kick your heels away from each other. So see where the heels are now? Well, this is true. Yeah. Draw your feet to parallel. Friends, look in the mirror. If you can see your inner heels, kick them away from each other. So, yes. See the difference? Show me before. That's your natural stance. Remember, you have turnout. We loved seeing the rotation you have in your hips, Julia. So when Julia stands, it's a natural ballet position number 2, I'm guessing. Right? Is that right? Okay. They kicked me out of ballet, put me right in soccer because of my tight hips. So now I would say, hey friends, if your feet are parallel today, that's great. Kick your heels away from each other so you cannot see your heel points, all right? Now what's different about standing with feet hip distance or feet together? Right away, what's different? Balance, yeah. So since we're in the balancing sequence, let's bring your feet together with your toes and your heels touching. And already you're kind of off kilter, aren't you, friends? Yeah, so everybody, bring your feet together with your toes and heels touching. Relax your arms beside you. Today, for an experiment, lift up all your toes. And now fan them out slightly as you set them onto the mat. Yeah, it's cool to see when people have this kind of dexterity in their pinky toe, because this means that you have a lot of energy going to peroneus longus. This is going to really keep you afloat. So that's a gift. It's a little bit of biomechanical individuality to have manual control over your pinky toe. Don't feel sad if you haven't, but it's interesting to see that over time with your practice, it will wake up. It will wake up. Arches will lift, pinky toes will come online, and balance, agility, and coordination are something that are everyday trainable, no matter what phase of living. Isn't that neat to know? Yeah, but feet are so different. All right, everyone, let's try the experiment. Relax your arms beside you. Lift your right knee to the height of your hip, but droop your foot. Like make it droopy and look in the mirror at your own personal arch. Are you having to kind of grip the mat with your toes to stay afloat? What are you noticing about stability, having the foot kind of droopy?
I feel like it puts the weight of my left foot this way.
So yeah, sometimes that throws us off the center. Now if you dorsiflex your foot, that just means lift it to toes to nose kind of idea. Look at your foot on the floor now. Now everybody, squeeze, claw the floor with your supporting leg and try to stay afloat. That's what new students do, guys. They claw the floor with their toes and then that throws them off balance. Change. Let's go to a second side. Shift your work into your right leg. Bring your left knee to the height of your hip and yeah, droop your foot and notice it. Oh, it's really hard to balance, isn't it? It's really hard. Now claw them out with your supporting leg toes, something you would never ask students to do. But this is what new students do. Can you even balance with your foot clawing the mat? No. Right. And so now lift your, yep, and then very good. We got the pinky toe coming online, and you can see the oscillation of these muscles that are supporting the ankle, and relax any kind of grip of the toes. See if you guys can press into the ball of your foot in the air. By lifting your big toe, you press a little into this imaginary gas pedal, and guess what? It's waking up the toe on the floor. It's called a contralateral benefit. In fitness, we know that the brain and the way it's wiring to the muscles, one side of the body working benefits the second side. I had a client with biceps tendonitis. I could never remember which elbow it was that she was healing, but she could only do bicep curls with one of her arms. And the reason why I had to keep asking her all the time, okay, remind me which is the arm that's healing, because the guns looked the same. And she hadn't done a concentration curl for 4 years on the healing side. But when you look at her, the same, because the brain has that crossover benefit on the neural level. So it's interesting to think that here you are thinking the foot on the floor has nothing to do with the foot in the air, but try it. Last time, shift your work, lift one of your feet and droop it and ask yourself, can I even balance like this? But now lift your toes. Yeah, like you're stepping onto something solid. Do you feel it? It's fun. All right, so let's start from scratch. Bring your hands to a supported back bend. Press your hands to your low back. Help your hips a little down and forward. And here we go. We're in real time. Bring your feet together with your toes and heels to touch. Dandayamana Janushirasana, shift your work into your left leg. Bring your right knee into the height of your hip. And choose to stay here and build agility, balance, and coordination. Going further, hold on to your knee. So everybody, yeah, you could hold your knee with one hand or two. I would relax your arms beside you. So don't worry about a half bind, and here you are. Now you could hold your shin. See what that would feel like. Some people hold their shin and they're staying here to develop their agility and balance. Now some people can interlace their fingers under the big toe mound. If that's available to you, this is a great time to do that. If your thumbs are opposing your hands, you've lost the posture. You want your thumbs under the foot. So guys, we're not holding with opposing thumb like holding a sandwich. You're cupping. You're cupping. Yeah, and if interlocking your fingers hurts your back, that's where I recommend holding your calf instead. We're all built different. Take a deep breath. On your exhale, kick if it's for you. If it's for you. Now, some friends can hold onto the foot and have 2 straight legs. Some people can slip their grip down to the calf and use their biceps to hug. And that's an option there. And keep your standing legs straight. If your standing legs bending, then that becomes dangerous. Change. Let's start from scratch. Come back to your mountain pose. Bring your feet together, toes and heels to touch. Shift the work now to your right leg. Lift your left knee to the height of your hip. Now here's the idea. Again, lift the toes a lot and notice how the foot on the floor responds. Keep your supporting leg straight. Take a deep breath. On your exhale, reach for your knee. See how that feels. Sometimes people get really tired in the hip flexor, and holding the knee is a great relief there. All right, now some people hold their shin or create the basket grip. What's available for you guys? Yeah, there you go, Julia. I really endorse holding the back of the calf with flat palms if that works for you in an effort to keep your back in neutral. Nice breathe, just like that. Flex the toes to the nose, see what's different there. Yes, again, the foot in the air is informing foot on floor. Good job straightening your supporting leg. That was really helpful. Change. All right. So now the idea about offering all those levels is some people, and I swear you guys, I'm really serious, it's maybe 1 in 100 students that holds the foot with a watertight grip and has 2 straight legs and can breathe, and it's a therapeutic posture. That's why, I mean, did you guys have fun doing that right now? Anybody? You love this pose? You had a good time? You're such a good sport. Okay, so let's start from scratch. What if we shift the work into the left leg, bring the right knee up, hold the kneecap, right? Stand up nice and tall, raise your left hand high. Now as you exhale, help your knee to the side, line up your shoulders. Keep the flexed aerial foot. So again, if these toes droop, you know that's going to be not very good for your balance. Look in the mirror and level your shoulders and hips. For more challenge, look into your open palm. Walk your eyes forward. Raise your left arm up. Bring your right knee. Raise both arms up. Lean back. Let's kick. or kick. 3, 2, 1. Bend your knee, release, and relax. Second side. Take your hand to your hip, draw your left knee up. Again, check that you're standing tall. Check that your leg is straight. Find a round of breath. Yeah, there we go. All right, now raise your right arm high, take a breath. On your exhale, turn out your hip. So level your hip, level your shoulders, keep your top toes perked up. For more challenge, look into your open right hand. Walk your eyes forward. Raise your right arm. All right, now bring your knee to the center. Raise 2 arms, lean back, kick. 3, 2, 1. Bend your knee. Release, hands to heart center, and mountain. Okay, so kind of the same posture, but different idea. So do you see how maybe you would offer the full meal deal if you knew folks in your room were practicing the 2 straight leg forehead knee? But that was a little safer. I didn't see any backs compressed. That would be a neat first set. For a second set, we could add on. What would we offer in the second set to add on to what we just did?
Does that mean add the toe?
You could offer the toe. Is the toe right for everybody? It has a lot to do with what? The length of your arms, the length of your legs. Yeah. So let's experiment. If it's for you, let's experiment. So second set, you would maybe announce second set adds on. Right, guys? Place your left hand to your hip. Draw your right knee to hip height. Some of you take the toe here. So I like cueing with some of you because what does that ensure?
Not everybody.
Yeah, and it doesn't even it makes it both are best is the memo here. Keep your supporting leg straight. Now, whether you have the knee or the toe, so I don't know about holding the leg like that. Is that comfortable? I feel I would. Okay, well, I would worry about the fatigue that would set in if you were here. Plus, does it cost you a straight spine? So I don't know that I would endorse standing like this. Subra was experimenting with it too. So you know, yeah, then I don't think, okay, so if your hand doesn't reach, because you have, yeah, see, exactly, there's it, yeah. So if a person took the toe and then they could kick out and still keep a straight spine, then they're a candidate for that. I don't know that I would flip the grip on this posture per se for the whole room, but this is what our quest is. What's the best alignment for your own personal body? And the toe thing isn't for everybody. If your legs are longer, then that we don't want to cost you neutral spine. We don't want to hurt your back. And this just seems like that would hurt your back being a little bit pitched forward, and it would cause a lot of fatigue here, I'm thinking. But again, everybody, see what your own limb length does for you. Place your left hand to your hip. Hold your knee. Experiment with touching the big toe. See about just the 2 fingers. Okay, now inhale, lift your chest, and exhale. How straight can we get it with a straight spine? This is what we're saying is if we want the spine tall, it doesn't matter if the leg is all the way straight. Like you could keep the knee kind of bent as long as your spine is straight. Raise your left hand high, right? Yeah, see, a lot of people practice this exact shape where they are holding with the straight spine. Yeah. Of course, we could get a strap and loop your foot, but that's a lot of trouble just for this pose, right? Questions? Questions? Okay, how about a second set offering to revolve? Let's come to mountain pose. Bring your feet together, toes and heels touching. Shift your work to your left leg. Bring your right knee to the height of your hip. If the toe is for you, take the toe. Otherwise, don't take the toe. Let's do this. I'm sorry, I shouldn't layer it like that. Let's all be on knee for this moment. Let's see what you could do on a second set. Friends, take your left hand to the outside of your right knee. All right, now let's start today with raising your right arm high. Okay, guys? Now, drop your arm behind you, keep your palm turned open, and then walk your eyes to the wall. Good. Good. Now walk your eyes to the front. Raise your right arm high. Raise both arms. And sure, we could kick if you felt like you had a really sporty crowd who wanted to do that, but the kick's not for everybody either, is it? I mean, you know, it just read the room. If they're real sporty, they kind of like it, but if it just feels like you're just making people suffer, like, you know, I don't feel super good about it. Second side, take your right hand to your hip, lift your left knee. And again, today, I would encourage you to announce it like this. Let's revolve. Take your right hand, hold the outside of your left knee. Raise your left arm high and drop it behind you. Now, look in the mirror, line up your knee and your hip. For more challenge, walk your eyes to your prop wall. Walk your eyes to the back wall. All right, change. Walk your eyes forward. And then you could maybe finish here. Raise both arms, bring your hands to your heart center, release. So that's how you revolve when you have just the knee. So that's an option. All right, last time, let's offer to revolve, holding the knee or the toe. Take your left hand to your hip, lift your right knee. If you take the toes will kick out straight. Now, whether you have your knee or your toes, identify your left hand and hold the outside of your right foot or knee. So you saw how to do the knee before. Raise your right arm up and drop it back. So whether folks are holding the outside of their knee or the outside of their foot, this is an option you could offer for second set. Right? And walk your eyes to the back. Walk your eyes center. Let's meet in the middle. Raise your arms. Lift your knee. Release. Mountain. Last time. Take your right hand to hip. Draw your knee. Again, if you're a toe person, grab your toe. Now, inhale, raise your right arm high. Let's revolve. Take your right hand to the knife edge of your foot or knee. Raise your left arm high and drop it back. Lift your chest, and you can look behind you. There you go. See, now look, everyone's spine is straight. This is very therapeutic. Look forward in the mirror. Let's meet together. 2 arms up, bend your knee, and release. All right, so let's take a seat and a sip of water and debrief here. What is this activity for? What are the features and benefits of doing this activity? Balance, strength, yeah, stretching, balance, and strength. It's kind of like all of yoga in one posture except for the meditation, huh, guys?
Does it do anything for the hips?
Well, it depends on the hips. If you're weak in the hip flexors, which nobody is because all we do all day is sit in hip flexion, then it would buy you a whole bunch of recruitment here. But just like being in the Roman chair doing knee raises, all that does is give you tight hips. Who in North America needs tighter hips? All we do is sit. Okay? So, yeah, it gives you something, but do you really need to be tight here? No, we're here to open that area because it's all we do all day is this and this and this. Right? We live our lives in hip flexion. That's why bow poses and all the back bends are so great because we get to stretch here.
Can you tell us again what words you use to kind of describe the footwork and how you lift your arches?
Yeah, and I love that you want to clarify this. Swear to God, when I was in college doing yoga in the 90s, this was a cue teachers would say. Mountain pose, lift your arches. Everyone was lifting these arches. It was like, what do you mean by that? Here's what you mean by that. The foot bones of the ball of the foot, the middle heel, and the 5th metatarsal are the places that tibialis posterior and pronus longus create arch. So if you push here, 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 you lift here. And I swear on my life, look at this foot. You see the arch? These were flat. Mostly because it was the 90s and all we wore was Birkenstocks. So we weren't as glamorous with the sparkly ones that Kylie has. But like this changed because of yoga. So it's because the muscles, through practicing with this idea of stepping into the ball, recruiting through the heel point center, and fanning the toes rather than clutching the toes. I was helping you in your triangle today, Yovanka, because your toes were gripping. So we'll be looking at that, friends. The way that you want to help students find their balance is to just look to see if they're gripping the mat with their toes. And the opposite of gripping the mat with your toes is lift your toes, fan them, and then relax them down. Yeah. And then give them this activity, just like we did. And when your feet are together, that's challenging your balance. When your feet are apart, that's not challenging your balance. That's actually technically aligned. Remember, hips, knees, toes. So it's so important that we're finding dialogue that's not, hey, don't grip the mat. That's not helpful. Mm-hmm. So I'm glad that we're talking about this. All right.
So,
yes.
Can I ask another
Yes, you must.
I think that I was reading somewhere and the description for this pose.
Yes.
You have no knee.
Okay, yeah. Sometimes when we hear about how to make sure people's legs are straight, that was probably a throwback from the stock dialogue in the Bikram script, because that you have no knee. It's like a lamppost, solid, no bending. And that's helpful in balancing. Is it helpful in stretching, though, to lock out your limbs? No, but when they're balancing, that's the memo. You have no knee. Squeeze the muscles to squeeze the muscles to the bones, right? Lock it out. In this moment, when you are building your foundation, that's a pretty helpful thing to hear. This is not locked out, is it? Now, people are going to be tight here, guys. You're going to see athletes, people who run, cycle, jog, or just even brand new students who are tight in their hammies. This is a straight leg. It's just like with the Seahawks. With all of their hypertrophy with the muscles, these were straight arms. Okay? So sometimes the muscularity, the contraction, right? It pulls the origin and insertion closer together. And that's normal resting tone. We work hard for that. So notice sometimes you'll see people with very built out hammies. This is a straight leg. Don't hassle them. They're not going to get to this until they get into some yin classes. So that's a really good point to bring up and think about. So just for our purposes, let's just kind of like back up a couple steps. Yes, you must.
So when we do this pose, a lot of times they say, lock your knee.
Right.
And they say,
Right.
stare at the top of your knee. So your gaze should be right
guys,
here.
let's go there. Stand up
always
straight.
sit back.
Yeah, guys, stand up straight, Pamela, just for a second. Bring your knee to hip height. I appreciate that idea. Tell people, hey, guys, look at your reflection in the mirror. Look at your supporting leg. Squeeze your kneecap. Look at the knee of your long left leg. Yeah, just make sure, guys, when we use that idea, specify that you want them to look in the mirror at it, because I've seen students.
Like that?
Yeah, it's like, no, look at your knee. I am, it's right there. No, look at your knee there.
Yeah.
That's a great cue. It brings
really
awareness.
helps me, and to stay balanced and not look at my knee the whole time.
Okay, so guys, put that in your notes. On the grid that's offered for you on this page, you may wish to write that. Friends, shift your work into your left side. Bring your right knee to the height of your hip. Please look at your reflection. Notice your left kneecap. Squeeze your legs straight. This is a great focal point. Just notice if they, yeah, that's a great cue. What page did you find there, Yovanka? 144. 144. Yeah, so again, it's about knowing who you're teaching to. So again, would you offer this in any form to the general population? This. It's not a good idea. Do you notice in classes who's picking up their foot properly? Do you watch this? It's nobody. It's nobody. It's nobody. Nobody does this properly except for Bikram students, okay? We're probably not going to have a lot of them in class. But if you do, yeah, you're going to load that up. You're going to say, going further, take a watertight grip, webbing to webbing underneath your big toe, right? Right? Yes.
It's actually in a class where the teacher stopped everybody and said, yoga, like, it's yoga practice, not perfect. So then she stopped everybody
and redirected people how? Because it was amazing how many people were hunched
Yeah,
over.
yeah.
trying to-
So again, how many people are hunched over? Yeah, everyone's tight in their hamstrings. They're building core strength. For the risk versus reward, I cannot endorse it for the general population. Okay, everyone's back is hurt. Everyone's hamstrings are tight. And we're not going to accomplish anything in today's class. So why don't we build the foundation and stay in neutral spine is all I'm saying. Holding the knee, they're going to appreciate that if they have the tension in the hip flexors. Raising an arm, look, that's pretty challenging for a lot of people. Taking your option, you could half bind and do the revolving. That's all. This is a great strengthener. So I feel like when you weigh the risk versus the rewards, this is going out of style fast. So are we okay with this? What questions do you have about your own personal practice, either about Utthita, Hasta, Padangusthasana, or about Dandayamana, Janu, Shirshasana? Let's say it, Utthita, Hasta, Padangusthasana. Yeah, Pada means what? Foot. Angu, like Ashtanga, Anga means limb. So what is the limb of your foot? Your big toe. So you see Padangusthasana a lot in yoga, and it just means big toe pose. Padangusthasana, big toe pose. But if it's saying Utthita, Utthita implies that something is stretching, right? You have Trikonasana, and then you have Utthita Trikonasana, where you're adding to it. So Utthita, I like to remember, maybe this will help you. I like to think of Utthita like Uttanasana, Ottanasana. Whenever you see two T's together, I imagine they're two friends and they're holding hands and they're pulling away from each other to stretch. Does that help you? This is what Utthita means. It means like stretching something. So Utthita, Hasta, what's a Hasta? Your hand, Padangusthasana, is saying crazy big toe pose. That's its English translation. So you could load it up. Set one. Man, sell it. Just have people bring their knee to the hip height. I did that with you, last weekend when I just met you. I didn't know anybody in this room. So I didn't know if it was appropriate to load up Dandayamana Janu Shirasana in its traditional interpretation. So the safe bet meeting you for the first time was, on this first set, let's build your foundation. So guys, hit me with some verb your body parts. How do you want me to set my foundation? Yeah, square your hips to the mirror. Because if I'm out here, I'm not in alignment. All right, now what? Flare your toes. Flare your toes. That's a helpful thing. You see people grip the mat. What else?
Rest your shoulders back.
Okay, so yes. Draw your shoulders back, right? Yeah. Relax your shoulders back, right? Yeah. Guys, you're taking notes for dialogue with your graph there. Write down the triple that we love hearing. Chest up, chin down, eyes open. You can use that in so many poses. Chest up, chin down, eyes open. I mean, that's a universal for so many postures. Sometimes it's about grabbing what is going to be applicable for everything. Shift your work to your left leg. Bring your right knee to the height of your hip. Lift your chest. Friends, chest up, chin down, eyes open. Like, that just gets the job done. It's a little barky, but, if you want to get people standing tall, that's what I love hearing in this room. My teacher, chest up, chin down, eyes open, and your beautiful breath flowing in and out. Concentrate on it, meditate on it. It just flows. And as a new teacher, that's what you're grabbing, is words. Right, guys?
But your eyes are already open.
Well, you know what? You'd be surprised. You'd be surprised how many times people spacing out in yoga. Especially our friends who have a little bit of anxiety. They'll be up here. Yeah. But again, this is something to think about. Guys, we're really overthinking it because we're new learners. But the students, they're not waiting and they're not listening. So a lot of dialogue, Julia, to your point about, their eyes are already open. You got to hang your hat on something to fill up the space. That's all dialogue at the end of the day really is. It's holding space for their practice. Does that make sense? In the time it takes for you to say, stand up tall, relax your shoulders down and back, Look on the horizon, chest up, chin down, eyes open, and your beautiful breath flowing in and out. Concentrate on it, meditate on it. You just burned up 30 seconds in which you turned them loose. And hearing the same words over and over in class provides what experience? Yes, security, relaxation, right? Right? Hearing different stuff all the time can be a little jangling. But if you know what I'm saying? If you've got a rhythm to your patter, chest up, chin down, eyes open, and your beautiful breath flowing in and out, concentrate on it, meditate on it. You've worked something out for your offering. You're holding space for them. And maybe one day they're going to actually listen. And that's the sweet thing about teaching yoga, guys. What are they mostly listening to? Yeah, the brain and all of its talking. Okay, so I'm so happy we're talking about this, because what is this posture for? What is it buying us? Because this is also part of your dialogue. You're selling it, right? Lift your knee to the height of your hip. This is a great place to stay. Build your what? Balance. Yeah, ABC. Exactly. ABC. Agility, balance, and coordination. I mean, we got to get through life being able to, like, step off a curb and woo, here comes a bus, right? Tottering around on high heels, right? Hello, right? The higher the heel, like, come on. Or not. You're better than I am. Playing basketball, hiking. When you hike, every step is different than the step before it. So this ability to right yourself in space, come on, you guys, have you slipped recently? But then like a cat, you regained your center because you do yoga? Good God, I would have broke my neck years ago if it wasn't for this posture. How many times you notice we're in the changing area? The yogis, we could put our pants on one leg at a time. But when our pants are on, we make gold records. It's one leg at a time like everybody else. Only when you put your pants on, magical things happen. And you can do it because you do this pose. So does that help? Okay, any burning questions? Like you really want to know this about this posture? Yes?
When you do this, does your leg need to stay straight out, or can you pull it up?
Well, you know what? It depends on the leg. It depends on turnout. Depends on your range of motion. By and large, remember about twisting above or below the belly button? The concern of your hip not being square has everything to do with what you might do to your back. Now, you may have the range of motion to do a little something different. And you're like, but I want to do a little something different, right? Right? Well, that's going to be for your fun practice. Let's see what you got. Let's have fun. Eliza, stand in mountain. Guys, what should we say first? Just right where she's standing. Bring your feet together, toes and heels touching. And now let's say what the pose is. Utthita, Hasta, Padangusthasana. All right, now, how do you explain what to do with her hand, guys? Eliza, take your left hand, place it on your left hip. Then what? Bring your right knee to the height of your hip or hip level. Parallel to the floor. Now what? Flex your toes. Listen to these verbs and body parts you guys are teaching. Okay, so first off, our first agenda is sell this, because some people must stay here. So this is a great thing to say. It's a great place to stay. Choose to stay here or what?
Or for more.
Yeah.
For more, we see.
Rub your toe.
With your two-piece fingers, take your big toe. Then what? What's job one?
Square your hips.
Well, they're already there. She is, yes. Well, I would want the hand up for like some balance at this point. Yeah, so raise your left arm. Okay. Inhale here, right? Because we wanted to get a big run at it. Big breath here, and exhale what? Kick out your hip, your foot, right? Right? Okay. And turn out. Now turn out. Turn out. Now, Eliza's range of motion. Now, Eliza, let's parallel your left arm to the floor, okay? And then have at it. What feels good? Now, do you feel like you're shut down sometimes in class for this? Do you feel like you have to lower yourself to conform to this idea? Because guys, here's your quest in yoga. If it meets the 7 criteria of a good posture, she's fine. What are some of those 7 things we're worried about? The 7 priorities of alignment.
Muscle tension.
She wants her muscles hugged to the bones. What about with her center? Core engagement, yep, right? And what do we want going on with, say, her shoulders?
Shoulders relaxed.
Down and back, right. What do we want going on with her knee?
Soft knees.
Yeah, we want definitely the one in the air to be soft, but we definitely want the bottom one straight and strong. See, so that's the stuff we care about, right? Now, let's see it. What you got? She's going to hold her foot. She's going to take the toe. She's kicking out. Now, we're turning out for the posture. Okay, now for her range of motion, her foot comes up high. What happens if you try to parallel your foot and dumb it down to where everybody else is practicing today? Is this what you want in her hips? Do you see how she's kind of like aside, sort of like sideways? But now go to your full expression that you were enjoying. Her shoulders are down. She's engaging here. You know, I'm sure I got a lot of friends who teach they're going to shut this down, but like she looks like shoulders down and back. She looks like her eyes are on the horizon. This knee is happy. That knee is happy. She's happy. She's having a good time. This is just her range of motion. I wouldn't shut that down.
More comfortable.
It's more comfortable because why? Limb length, flexibility. Yeah, see? Do you want her like this just to check the box of having her leg parallel the floor? No, that's for other shaped people. You know, and if I'm asked, same thing. Like, look, do you want my hip like that? Do you want it? Everything should be mountain pose, just decorated. That's yoga. Everything that we're doing in yoga should be a variation of this. So if her range of motion and limb length have her leg up here, as long as nothing's jacked up in the kinetic chain of her spine, core, knees, shoulders, then Bob's your uncle.
Isn't that more comfortable?
See, Karina, can you stand up and show us? Because you have the same kind of range of motion. You both were trained as dancers, so your postures are going to look different than people who have tighter hips, right? Yeah. So let's extend your arm out. Why do we extend the arm out? It's for balance. Yeah, and as long as her leg is straight and she's happy, like I'm fine with that.
Like it hurts me to like this. I just feel like I'm like.
Yeah, that looks a little
this
contortiony.
feels like it's gonna,
You're like, yeah. See, then that's what we're worried about because your hip was this way and your knee was that way, and we want them in a line.
like
Uh-huh.
this.
Yeah.
Like-
Yeah. So Jovanka, yeah. You see, if well, I don't know that you would want to force pulling up in this arm because that's just going to cause tension. You know, it's a wonderful thing to see if you can line up where your shoulders are relaxed, your jaw is relaxed, everything's flowing. But when it comes to limb length and range of motion in the hips, that's the beautiful thing about this. All our bodies are put together different. So I would feel really blue if anybody were kind of like rounding their spine to check a box instead of...
I can't go like just straight out like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And friends, do you know what I'm saying when I say my taller friends, you'll see them and they're perfectly happy here because they just have super long legs, right? But what do you want in my shoulders? What do you want in my spine? Where do you want me to look? And how is this? This is a posture. This is a detail. This is a mess. Does that make sense? That's your eyes saying, all right, everybody's different, but what are the priorities? Dynamic tension, core engagement, spinal alignment, shoulders down and back. And when we're going to change leverage as necessary, this is probably one of those instances where we're going to change leverage as necessary because we're saying the mission critical thing is to protect the spine, the shoulder relaxation, the knee alignment, the core engagement, and the hip hinge when we're coming up from a fold. Those are the things that will never hurt anybody. But saying your pose has to look like mine or it doesn't count, it's not really yoga because you're built different. We should honor what helps you be in mountain pose, just decorated. Yeah, that was a good epiphany. I hope that tech is working here and our friends at home are going to grab that handily from wherever they are. So this is fun. So when you're teaching this sequence, you know, you've got choices to make. That's all I'm saying. Are we good? Do you want to move on to dancer? Okay, I so apologize if I got barky in dancer because I was seeing a few opportunities. May I please share with you what the opportunities are? Okay, and I'm only so spastic about this because when you learn how to do it right, it changes your whole life, okay? But it's about a few basics. So guys, what page is your dancer on so you can take notes on it while friends are looking? What page?
149.
All right. Man, I know there's a way to get lighting in here a little bit brighter. Are you guys okay? Is it just my 51-year-old eyes that are having a really hard time? I want to buy you all desk lights. You know those cute little, like at the bookstore? Oh, that's it! Everybody wear your camping headlamp while we're in posture clinic here. That's perfect! And that would be good for alignment. Aim your headlight. If your headlight's on the floor. Exactly! Oh my God, I love it. It's so fun. So the job one with, let's say it, Dandayamana? Dhanurasana. Acceptable variations include Dandayamana, Dhyana. Okay, so here's job one, right? What do you want me to do? Take your right hand out like you're what? Holding a tray. Now, why is holding a tray helpful? Because what do new students do? It's so cute. It's universal. It's like they're getting a high five from behind. But if you say, hold your hand like you have a tray there, then this will keep their wrist straight. All right. Now, reach back. Right? Yes?
Grab the inside of your foot.
Yeah, exactly. Now, some people who are healing in their knee or their shoulder, where will we have them hold?
On the outside.
Exactly. But for top line dialogue that you're saying to the whole room, that's where you start. Reach down, pick up your foot at the arch. Now, yes, there's different ideas about where to hold the shin and stuff like that for height, but gosh, and this is what I was excited to help Julia with today on second set, was holding here on the dorsal aspect of your foot, right there at the top of the foot, where your big toes can peel back. So today it was neat to play with this, like, because this holding the ankle is one thing, but look, what's the difference? See my toes? When they're peeled back like that, what does it inform? The foot on the floor. Totally. When you use your hand cup, not hamburger hand, hamburger. When you use the sandwich grab, it's different. You're going to fatigue the muscles here, and it's not going to help to open the shoulders. So of course, yes, if someone is healing, or if they're larger or brand new, we bring them where? To the wall. Very, very nice to offer that. And then if they're healing in their knee or shoulder, yeah, have them hold the outside. It's fine. But for general top-line dialogue purposes, reach back, pick up your foot. And I love this idea that we could be talking today more about what's going on with the flaring of the toes. So anyhow, job one, raise your left arm high. Now guys, look at my hand. This is a sad hand. Look at my hand. There's no way for good things to happen. Press your palm. Yeah, press your fingers together, right? Raise your arm. So fingertips to the sky, let's understand, that's a description because it starts with a body part. So convert fingertips to the sky with something that I can do. I want to hear a verb. Tell me what to do.
High five all together.
Okay.
Fingers all together.
That's not a verb. Fingers all together is a description. I'm not going to change my hand. Zip up your fingers. Okay. Make your hand like a high five. Press your fingers. So make your hand better. Okay, palm to the sky is a description. It's got to be a high five, friends. How about this? Look in the mirror and press your fingers together like a high five. Put energy in your hand like you're going to give a high five. This is important. Fortify your fingers. What else? See, this is our quest. This is our quest. Our quest is not saying fingers together. That's not directive.
Could you just say high five hands?
That's not a verb.
Okay.
Raise your hand like you're going to high five the mirror. How about that? Does that make sense? See, right now, guys, your words for yoga is your self-talk. So don't beat yourself up. I'm not saying you guys are cueing badly. I'm saying when we cue in a passive way, it's because we're just saying the things that are in our brain when we're checking the boxes. Okay, fingers nice and tight, shoulders down and back, and the weight is in the heels. That's describing, because it starts with body parts. But if I say, raise your arm, right? Press your fingers together, relax your shoulders, find a round of breath, then I'm telling you what to do. And that's the habit we're creating. So does that make sense? If you are starting any sentence with a body part, you're only loading up a directive. I'm sorry, a descriptive, right? It's only a descriptive. That's what the lady was, I played that DVD. It was all just, it's very wishy-washy. But you heard the dude, when he got on, it was all about verbs and body parts. And as a new teacher, they're going to tune you out if you don't cue in directive. And listen to how you coach people in your life. Pick up your toothbrush. Put toothpaste on your toothbrush. Put your toothbrush in your mouth. Rub back and forth on the surface of your teeth. You're not like, okay, and picking up our toothbrushes and squeezing our tubes and, rinsing our mouths. That's not how you get anybody to do anything. Right? So, okay, so the idea, here we go. Now, friends, here's the opportunity. So once you pick up your foot, what's job one here? What do I gotta do? Bring your knees together. What other verbs? Squeeze your knees. What else? Zip up your knees. I love it. Bring, zip, squeeze. These are good words. Perfect. Right? Now what? What do I gotta do? Yeah, lift your left arm. Very good. Now guys, here's job one. You must look forward and peel back your shoulder. It is not a hip square thing. It's not. There's nowhere to go if your hips are square. You're going to hurt your back. And if you're going to force people to square their hips after the fact, because they have turnout, you're going to hurt their back. Hips are individual. We saw that last weekend. So job one is peel back your shoulder till you can't see it. Job two, you keep reaching up. Guys, look, I still see my leg in the mirror. So is it time to go down? No, that's just a really challenging quad stretch. Look at me. All I'm doing is like I'm stretching my quad. But the bow doesn't happen until you kick your heel away from your hip. And you can't know if you have a bow unless you see no knee. Because you certainly don't want people to look to the side, right? And what are you going to do? Okay, Mary, you have a bow. Super cute. So here's the thing to hang your hat on as a teacher teaching this posture. Peel back your right shoulder till you can't see it. Lift your arm, raise your chest, kick your heel away from your hip till you see no leg. When you see no leg, charge your body down. Now, guys, look where my hand is. Here's where you were today, guys. You were here. You were anywhere but here. You are building an arrow. You're building a bow. You're stringing your bow to shoot your arrow. So it has to be at the middle of your face. Sound good? So here's the second side. Take your what? Left arm. Perfect. Reach back.
Grab the arch of your foot with all 5 fingers.
Pick up your foot. Yep. Keep all 5 fingers in your grip. Zip up your knees. Legs.
Zip up your knees.
Squeeze your legs closed. Yep. Zip up, seal up. Yep. Now what? Raise your right arm. Now hold. Look at your hand. You're already demoing it bad. See? That's not how it, no. So, Karina, there. See the diff? You guys, it's not this. That's not dancer. It's this. Does that make sense? Yeah. And I'm sorry if nobody taught it to you that way. It's a really purposeful thing for energy. But okay, so now, Karina, you have my arm up. Now what?
Now, turn until your shoulder disappears.
Well, turn.
Your left shoulder.
Yeah. Peel back your left shoulder.
Peel back your left
Yes.
shoulder.
Now what?
As you kick your
No, not as you. You're giving me a big run-on sentence. Peel back your shoulder. Now what?
kick your left.
Yes. See the difference? Peel back your shoulder as you kick. It becomes a run-on sentence. But if it's peel back your shoulder, kick. Now what? Kick what?
Kick back into your
your left hand.
Kick into your hand
You cannot see your
till you cannot see your knee.
And raise your,
I got it. No angel. Yeah, okay. Now what?
and then kick. Can you see?
I'm kicking. Now what?
Kick till you can't see your
Got it? Now what?
And then
What?
charge. Your,
Charge. Yeah, but be careful if your hand is doing handshake. It's got to be palm down.
I know, I do this.
And it's wrong.
Whenever I like.
It's wrong. Okay, so now just practice here. Because part of this too, guys, is when you're getting your mouth right for the words, make sure your body's doing it. Because if you're practicing at home, what we say is practice makes permanent. So make sure that you are demoing 110% if you're demoing. Because you'll get really good at doing really sloppy yoga. And I'm not saying you like you. I'm saying you guys, like I've noticed, if you get home and all you're practicing is dialogue without body movement, then you end up kind of not having those two things married. So good verbs. Good verbs. Charge your body down is a great thing to use once you can't see anything, huh? What does charge your body down sound like? Kind of sounds like you're getting action. What other words are there besides charge your body down? I can't think of any of them that are good. Because if it's like bend forward, drop sounds very passive, like you're dropping it. There's nothing, I don't want to drop anything. Yeah. So this is our quest, finding the verbs that convey what it is that we want. Because in the event that they just might be listening. Because again, keep it in perspective, you guys. We are only tripping because we're tripping, I swear to God. And so there you go. Charge your body down. Now, what's the important memo? I was telling you guys, this morning I was like so bummed out. I saw hands here. I saw hands here. I saw hands here. Reach where? Reach to the middle of your brow. Yes. Reach to your third eye center. Get all hippy-dippy on the situation. Reach to your sixth chakra. I would rather hear reach for your sixth chakra. Reach like you're going to touch your nose. Reach, because that's what the arrow is. Kick, reach.
Do you want to tell them they have a drishti?
Well, sure. Tell them. Say, guys, your drishti, your focal point, is right center. Just like what pose? Yes. Yes. Telling them at the beginning of class, all throughout class, establish your drishti, establish your focal point. Why is it helpful, guys, to have one focal point? This is true. But what about, this is true. Yeah, tomorrow when we dig deeper into 8 limbs of yoga, it's for pratyahara. It's for that going inside, looking within. And it's very, very, very cool that you guys are thinking drishti, because not only are you teaching them about proper spinal alignment, you're teaching them a little something about focus, concentration, meditation, the higher limbs of yoga. Also, I was like, and this, and then it left me. I was really excited about it. What was it? It was something about, anyway. Yeah, because helping the students establish the habit, I guess, of just, always being very, because does it not push all the buttons for a newer student, or even us if we're not feeling 100% fabulous that day, to look in the mirror, right? It kind of pushes your buttons, right? But the yogi with practice ends up not seeing things they want to change or they would do differently. They're able to look on the inside more. Do you guys?
Well, and I think it helps them to not look around.
Yes.
Somebody
There you go.
can do that.
Mhm.
Nothing back there. And
Yeah.
so then they start, just want to look at themselves.
Exactly. That's very important, because comparison is what we're up against.
There is no mirror sometimes in the studios. So.
Right, and sometimes there's no mirrors in the studios. Yeah, that's definitely a way to go, and that's definitely a thing to it. And yeah, anybody practice in a facility sometimes that doesn't have the mirrors? Yeah, there's a big deal to that, huh? It sure has the pluses and minuses, like everything, huh? Is there anything in particular you appreciate about no mirrors?
I think it's both. It works just as good, but it could be bad because instead of going inside into the posture, they're just like constantly like, what's my alignment?
Sometimes it's harder to notice your alignment. What would you say is your feeling mostly about no mirror?
Well, I think for me, I like the balance. I can balance a lot better.
A little bit, yeah.
in PE, you know.
Oh yeah.
To my students, and when I'm showing them the examples in my gym, like I'm following all
Yeah.
in the yoga room, like I can do it fine.
Right.
So I think I'm used to them.
Yeah. But there's gonna come a day where we're gonna be camping or skiing, or we're gonna be in Costa Rica in the jungle, and if we don't know how to do dancer without this mirror, we're sunk. So both are totally best, but I hear ya. Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
question.
Yeah.
So what's the proper adjustments for a bow pose if you cannot do it completely properly? Like you're not supposed to charge?
No, you gotta stay afloat. Everyone stand up, let's do this. I really want to help you understand this important question and answer that Yovanka's brought up, because this is our students, guys. They're thinking in their mind that it only counts if they're like here, yeah? But what if I lost the opportunity for here, right? Like there's no bow and there's no opening of the shoulder, and you know there's nowhere to go from there in life. So what your goal as a teacher is to help people understand where their base is, where they're excellent. The decorations come later, but they're hungry for the decorations now. That's the fun part, isn't it? Check it out, I'm doing it today. It's so sweet. So everyone, go ahead and bring your feet together, toes and heels to touch. Relax your shoulders, look into the mirror, establish your focal point. Take your right hand out like you're holding a tray. Reach back and pick up your foot. Use all 5 fingers in your grip. Raise your left hand and turn your palm. There you go, turn your palm. That's a good verb. Turn your palm to the mirror. Squeeze your fingers closed. Look in the, yeah, see? Okay, good. Now, focus your breath. Now, I'm doing a bad thing. I'm walking. Why is this bad? Well, you're trying to do dancer. I'm going to make you fall by walking. So as a teacher, you always want to be down low. Have you been practicing holding the arch, Subra? Like from the grip there? Yes. And with your thumb under? Perfection. See the diff? Okay, perfect. Now, guys, job 1, bring your arm behind your ear. Everyone, hold here. Look in the mirror. Bring your arm behind your ear. Yes. Your arm behind your ear is a really important thing. Now peel your right shoulder back till you see no shoulder. Hold. You guys are perfect. Now, if you're flexing at the ankle, hold the top of your foot. See what changes. Hold the top of your foot. See what changes. To peel your toes back over your first fingers. Perfect. Now look in the mirror. Keep breathing. Now kick your heel away from your hip till you see no part of your leg. But stay where you're excellent. Let's do one thing at a time here. Kick, good. Keep reaching forward and up. Yes, that's a boat. Julia, I love you're holding your foot. It's so much better. Do you feel that? I don't mean to say your name out loud while you're balancing, but that's where you should hold your foot change. Let's come back. Let's start from scratch.
Do you mind if I say?
Yeah.
In a ballet, so what they teach is
Yep.
to go down.
Yep. Well,
To rather teach
you'll want to figure out what that's about. Yeah, we're not trying to just go down and forward. We're trying to lift up and back. And I submit to you humbly.
goes up, then you can go down.
Yeah, but first we got to go up and exhaust the up until, yeah. I love when you hold this part, not here. Guys, this is an important thing. I'd love it if you guys, could we show second side? Friends, watch my buddy. Julia, bring your feet together, toes and heels to touch. Now reach back and pick up your left foot, but show me where you were holding it. Okay, she was holding at the ankle, and then so the foot just is very flexed. Now look guys, look at, it's not that there's anything wrong with this foot, but if this foot is super flat like this, it's really hard to get some stability in the supporting foot. But when she put her hand here, and then she peeled her big toe back, oh my God, look at that. You see all this open, and you see what happens here? Julia, you will notice, see this jumping around muscle right here? That you're gonna have your arches lift. Next year, you're gonna have an arch. It's not that there's nothing wrong with not having an arch, I'm just saying, you know what I'm saying? This is gonna push more, and this is gonna recruit more, and this is awesome. Now, raise your arm behind your ear, and then now peel your shoulder back. Now, look, she's staying up till she sees no knee, and look at all the bow there now. See the deal? And look, this is so cool. Guys, I'm not worried about her turnout, because why? She's got turnout. If I made her square her hip, what would hurt her? I'd jack up her back. I would twist below the belly button. We've sworn an oath to never do that. So when you see someone with open hips, you know that this is what their dancer's going to look like, and it's not right to ask them to square off their hip, especially not in midair. But man, what a difference holding the top of your foot. Because guys, try it. If you just hold the ankle and keep the ankle flexed, you know, the foot on the floor can't get as much of the fine recruitment. Did you notice, Subra? Yeah, see, look at you. He's like, what, like it's hard? Look at you. That's a bow, friend. That's a bow. Look at the bow. That's a bow.
Are you supposed to see your foot back
Well,
here in
let's,
the mirror or not?
so Subra, doing great. Were you looking at your eyes in the mirror though, sir? Or were you looking on the floor? Okay, good. Okay, hard to tell from here. So Jovanka brings a good point. We hear a lot about see the foot come above the head because that's your cue to do what when? When you see the, yes! When you see your foot come above your head, that's your cue to kick more to bring it up high. So that's definitely not the first thing we're talking about. It's like, yeah, like 3/4 of the way through. But see, this is good. Yeah, yeah. And now, see, good. Now, see, we reach between the eyes, and then you can just keep kicking until the cows come home. And then, yeah, later, then we experiment with holding the ankle or holding the shin, and that's a good time. But wonderful time building the bow. Anybody have low back pain in this? Bree, is this where it bugs your back? Yeah. Okay. Can we see your pain-free range of motion? Can we see what's going on where you're still feeling happy?
Like once I'm holding.
Okay. Okay. Let's see what you got. Your right hand coming out here, and then you can pick up your foot, and you look in the mirror. Yep. Lots of energy in your fingers, so yep, turn your palm. You got this. And there we go. Nice, straight, strong leg. So is there pain in your back at all?
No.
Okay, this is so nice. So guys, this is, again, you wouldn't want to ask her to turn her hip down. She's got turnout. We've met her. We saw what her hips are like. Change. And they're beautiful. It's wonderful. Any questions, Kylie? I'm loving the bow, man. Did it make sense about the foot? Yes, Corinne.
Any bows, I feel like my range of motion of my shoulders, I can't reach.
Okay, and what do you suppose you've done to earn that? Okay then, so can you see why your range of motion as someone who lifts?
I feel like I can't always get my arms.
Oh, look at me, I can't. Look, because of all the personal training, all the lifting and all the group fitness and all this doesn't happen.
No.
And so this is what we live with, but got to make sure you're not tearing anything.
So would that be proper for me just to stay? Because I can't.
Let's just check things out.
So I can't.
Okay, hold. Okay, now guys, we want to have the thumb alongside the fingers. That's a big part about opening your shoulder. Do you hear me? If you hamburger hold the foot, it's going to just fatigue the lower arm, and it's not going to help the very issue she's asking about. So seriously, Corinne, I think this was most of the issue.
It could be because I don't know if I've ever properly been told how to hold my foot.
Well, thank God you're in yoga teacher training. Listen to the words coming out of my face.
I feel like I physically can't get my leg to come up.
Okay, today that might be the thing, but also remember, this is Dandayamana Dhanurasana. It's not Natarajasana. If you guys look at the cute 11-year-old in the book, she's holding her foot. Oh yeah, this is just for kicks. That is a different posture. This one is about extension and compression.
Yeah.
So let's see where you're feeling all about this stancer pose. There we go. Good work. And yeah, I'm loving this because guess what this can, yeah, right? Peel it back. And then look in the mirror. Just good. Peel back your shoulder till you see no shoulder and then stay put. Can you bring your arm behind your ear a little bit? Hold. Now, kick your heel away from your hip and stay upright. Guys, this is the challenge. It's so tempting to charge your body down early, isn't it?
It is because I feel like my shoulders won't do it, so I
That's
cheated.
okay. Okay. Well, you know what? That is between you and God. Like every time you're on the mat, you're asking yourself what's pain-free, what's legit, what you're holding yourself accountable to, or what you're making room for, right? If we don't have the torso length, you know, there's that too.
So I feel like this is beyond uncomfortable.
Well, then don't be unhappy. Sometimes. And she lifts real heavy weights because she's a trainer. She's very strong.
I feel like
This is beautiful. Now charge your body down, then hit it. Go for it. If that's as disappeared as your knee gets, that's as disappeared as your knee gets. And I'm loving that. And I'm wondering if sliding your hand to your ankle, so long as you keep the foot, or holding your shin, that might be available to you too to make account for these super long legs. Again, you guys got to be nice to yourself. When your torso is not long, but your legs are, Why would your pose look the same as the lady in the Beacon book? Okay? Got to know what you got going on there, friends, right? Yeah.
I would just figure since my arms are so long that I could grab
I know,
it.
lucky. That's so cool. Do you swim? Like, oh, but you cover the whole pool in 8 lengths.
I used to, but no, not anymore.
Yeah, woohoo! See?
Is it okay if that's as far as I can go?
It's between you and you, babe. And now put your hand in the middle of your face. Yes. And so it'll be, yeah. See, there you go. See, take your time. And it's all good. It's all beautiful. Do you ever hold your shin? Can we do that second side? See what happens? Take your hand out. Hold your shin. And use your, yes. Yeah, squeeze your knees, and now still deal with your foot. You don't want to flex the ankle. You want to point and floint. Flex and point at the same time. So it's the right ankle and then flare out the toes. Yes. Now reach and kick and breathe and look and kick and breathe and kick a little more and reach a little more and breathe a little more and smile and change. That's what we've got going on for bow. Now for experiment, because we're all watching, will you go on your tummy and do floor bow? Here's your test, guys. Should look the exact same. If you want to help your students understand what to expect from their floor bow and their dancer bow, they're analogous. They trade places. There's just one on a leg or on a tummy. Kick. Now that's the exact same shape that her bow was on one leg. So why would I expect it to be any different in the air? And it's beautiful, Corinne. It's beautiful. It's yours.
I just feel like we don't go very far.
Well, it's okay. You have a very shorter torso relative to your very long arms and long legs, and I'm sure that makes it easier to shop for clothing. So, there's a win there.
Like a daddy long leg.
I love it. It's beautiful. There's going to be things that you're way better at than others because you have that gift. So, yeah.
Thanks for that, because it helped me feel a little bit better about it.
See,
'Cause
that's
I feel like
it.
I can't get my shoulders back.
See, that's it. You guys, teacher training is so much about dispelling any secret shame we have, where we're thinking we're supposed to be able to do something, but if your body's not designed to do that, it doesn't make you less of a yogi. I don't practice the thing with the arms under because they don't go under, they go here. But you know what, I understand, I know what that's about. That's the truth of yoga. Okay. So this is fun. A lot of times going to the wall is another good way to learn how much bow you have without the drama of being in bow, standing bow pulling pose. Are you guys interested in that? Let's maybe have everybody come to the wall and place your left hand onto the wall. And again, I'm breaking a rule. You wouldn't ask your students to look in the mirror when they're doing a posture. But if you could please take a quarter turn so your torso is facing the props. And you know what, this is just good for us to understand about limb length. Yeah, I kind of want to take a picture now, team photo. Okay, so guys, here you are. Everyone press your knees closed. Yeah. And now stay exactly as tall as your upper body is. Ooh. Yeah. But remember, put your thumb under, like a scoop, not a sandwich.
Oh, okay.
Sandwiches. Look at this. Look at this. This is killing me. Look at this. Look at this. Okay, we were born this way, literally. So we, to compare is to despair. But you're right. If we were, see, that's another good reason to have students look ahead, huh, Pamela? Because this is so fun. It's just the range of motion. And then ask yourself, do I want to hold my arch side? My arch side. Oh, do I want to hold it like with the tray? There we go. Yeah. See, kick your heel away from your hip. We all have a different range of motion we all have a different range of motion in our hips. Huh, guys? So look in the mirror, don't hurt yourself, but notice the variations and difference of limb length and how much kick there is before we charge down. It's just fun, isn't it fun? It's fun, and I'm here to tell you, I know how you feel. Like when I printed that picture of me and Bo, I'm like, I don't have any kind of a backbend. What am I doing putting my picture there? Maybe I should put my friend's picture there. Like, no, it's Bo, because it's, the way you're put together. So good times. Let's switch sides so that we are even in the body. And team, this is what I'm excited for you to think about for when you teach this posture. This posture is a minute in duration. So there's beginning stuff to say, middle stuff to say, And boy, what's the most important? The finish line stuff. You know, don't you love it when the teacher gives you a little bit of a countdown and then this one so you know how much time you have? So let's think about the A, B, C, D. A, alignment. Take your hand out, reach back, pick up your foot, place your thumb alongside your fingers, peel back your shoulder, kick until you can kick no farther, but see if you can keep your torso lifted first. So guys, come back and start from scratch. Let's start from scratch. So place your right hand on the wall, pick up your left foot with your thumb alongside your fingers. Now let's keep your torso lifted. Everybody pretend there's a book on your head. I don't want you to charge forward yet. I want you to stay where you are. Now raise your supporting hand to the highest it'll go and touch the wall. So yeah, raise your right hand now. Now your goal is you bring your arm behind your ear as much as able. And now stay aloft, stay upright, and kick first. And make sure you're safe in your body. We don't want to turn out your knee. I know we're side to side with friends. And there you go. So when you can kick no further, then charge your body down. See the diff? Yeah. So give yourself that time to be in that middle part. Does that make sense? A, B, C, D. There you go. All right, cool. Questions about this at all? I'm so glad we broke it down. All right, thank you. Okay, now how are we feeling in our bodies? We've been at this about an hour. You want to take like a little 5-minute break, go to the bathroom, get a beverage before we pick things back up? Or we want to power through? We okay? Power through? Let's just definitely take a sip of water. I love that your towels match. I got confused. I thought it was Corinne next to Kylie, and then all of a sudden on the back bend, the first set, I was just like, wow, Corinne, when did that start happening? And I'm like, wait, oh, there's Corinne. I thought it was funny.
Changed hair too.
Totally changed hair too. It was like wild.
I love your guys' though, because they actually tuck around. They have little.
Oh, that's cool. And then it doesn't slip.
That's a great idea.
That's the half the battle in Hatha class, is making sure your towel's all neat.
$1 million idea right there. Where did you get that?
Oh my God.
Amazon. Mine took like forever to get here.
Mm. They're beautiful.
After.
Cool.
But also, like, it was delivered.
I bought a white towel, and then I realized, you know how we always stand at the front of our mat for all the beginning things?
You have marks on there?
I saw feet, and I was like, okay, the rest of my life, when I'm in Hatha class, this is me in mountain, because I do not want to put my face where my feet were. So now I'm obsessed with this idea. Teacher's like, come to the front of your mat. Like, no, I'm going to have to put my face there later.
I never thought of that.
You get a white mat, it'll change your whole life. All right, cool, guys. So, again, I'm not hating on the Bikram tradition. I'm not. I do it 3 times a week happily, and I will the rest of my life. And when called to, I teach it exactly as it was codified in 1971 when I was 3. But when we're teaching the general population, I'm here to tell you, with the tight hamstrings, the no core strength, and the back pain, like this, people hate it, don't they? Why do they hate it? Their shoulders are rounded, their neck has tech neck, it hurts. Where does it hurt? Where does it hurt? Shoulders, where? Yep. That's why they don't come back. That's why they don't stick with this. So let's keep the idea. What is balancing stick Tula Dandasana bias? What is it good for?
Balance.
Yeah. Strength, balance, good stuff. And it makes your back stronger once you've dealt with, you get your heart rate up, puts hair on your chest. It does all the things. So why don't we keep what's awesome, but also meet the people kind of where they are. And so enter the idea that here we are, and it's step forward, body down, leg up. And yeah, while you're there, sure, we want quality. So what's the first opportunity? What do I got to do? Square your hips. Remember we said the glutes are an external rotator of the femur. So we're just here for a breath, then bring our hands to heart, and then do what? Yeah, airplane. And you can look in the mirror and then go body down, leg up, and that's a good time. Change. Look, boom. That's a single leg deadlift. That's good for your buns. Now we're in the middle of the mat. Second side. Well, here we are. Take a step. lift your chest, and then boom, balancing stick, body down, leg up. But we're not holding this forever, getting all the finer quality about look, you know, keep your chin away from your chest, your arms above your ears, flare your toes, square your hips, leg up. No, hands, heart, airplane, choose to look down, that's cool. Or you can look forward and go body down, leg up, right? Change. That's all. All the benefits, none of the drama. You can teach normal balancing stick if you want, but look around the room. Who's doing it right? Who's having fun? I'm just saying. So let's say it. Tula. Dandasana. Balancing stick. Tula means scale. Isn't that cool? So when you're at the market and you put a big grapefruit on the scale and you see, that's the scale. Tula. Tula Dandasana. I think it's easy to remember too because it starts with a T and it looks like a T. Tula. T for Tula. So let's begin. Friends, let's come to the back of your mat. And stand up nice and tall. Again, we like this because it's going to get the heart rate a little bit up. We like this because it caps off our balancing series. We like this because we're going to rest afterwards, right? Like this is the pose where you know, okay, cool, hang in there. We got a nice wide forward fold coming up. We can chill out. Inhale, raise your arms, interlace your fingers, point straight at the ceiling. Now they make a big deal about the grip. So just for kicks, let's squeeze your palms closed, no light, no air. See what changes. If it hurts your shoulders, that's probably the issue, huh? Yeah. So that's why I'm not too worried about it. We're only there for a second. Kali Mudra, K-A-L-I. Kali Mudra, that's what this is. Kali. Okay, good times. Take your right leg, step it forward. Now, good job stepping with a straight leg, guys. You see a lot of this sometimes. It's a little prancing pony kind of thing. It's a straight leg. Inhale, lift your chest. Exhale, body down, leg up. And there you go. You're just pivoting on your hip. And you look at the floor and you lift your leg up. And we all have a different range of motion with this, don't we? Bring your hands to heart center. Now, is that a little easier to sustain? Okay, look at the floor. That's okay. Sweep your arms behind you. That's nice. And if you want, look in the mirror. Look at that, Eliza. Touch the ceiling and change a light bulb, girlfriend. Look at this. Boop, boop, boop. Change, feet to meet. That's it. It's just stepping. Second side, inhale, raise your arms, interlace your fingers. Now, here's important things, right? We want to look where, guys? Right now, where are you looking? Yeah, straight ahead at the mirror. Lift your chest, chin, and eyes. This is a full-on extension pose. So at no point should we collapse around the spine, right? So a great thing to tell your students, bring your arms behind your ears as able. Take your left leg, step it forward. Inhale, lift your chest. Exhale, go down. Arms, body, legs, head. And looking at the floor can help stabilize. So once we end up looking at the floor now, that's good. Now bring your hands to heart center and just sweep your arms behind you. That's beautiful. And there's the pinky toe showing up for work. It's awesome. Change, step feet to meet. Oh, that's so pretty. Don't you feel like a dancer? Don't you just feel like a dancer?
With that one, I actually noticed, like,
Oh.
if I locked my knee,
Oh,
it was
yeah.
worse. I had
Okay.
to, like, slice.
Yes.
So
Okay.
if I do that,
Yeah.
I
Guys, this is our buddy. She's a little hypermobile, but what a difference that was. I mean, I was way over here. I could see your quad go, yes.
oh, I know. I like had to like.
Look at that, you guys. So we say this too, we tell our students, when the joints are locked out, the muscles turn off. And so, wow, can you show us that again? Guys, pay close attention to Karina's quadricep when it's chilled out, relaxed, like when she's locked, or when it's fired up, recruited, it's like active. That'll save this area we were talking about. The back of the knee takes all that strain. So yeah, see? But again, it's a standing balancing leg, so I'm not going to advertise this in real time to everybody. Hey guys, soften your supporting leg. Because they hear that, what are they going to do? They're going to bend their knee.
It's almost like I want to flex this, not push back.
Exactly. You want to raise your kneecap.
Your kneecap.
Raise your kneecap. Engage your quad. Yeah, I wouldn't say flex because I'm just so picky about it now.
Yeah.
This is flex.
Well, I wouldn't tell anybody else,
Okay,
but
okay.
to do that, but to me,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
that's what I have to
Yeah,
do.
that's what I meant by jazz it up. So thank you for asking for clarification because I get a little silly with my words sometimes. But ignite, recruit, jazz, lift your kneecaps. Squeeze, hug muscle to bone. What else? Hug muscle to bone. What else? Like engage your leg. You have no knee.
If someone told me to lift my kneecap, I
Yeah.
would block out my
Okay,
knee
so that's not going to resonate with you.
Yeah.
But tight body like me, I'm like, oh yeah, that resonates. So I would say it because it's meaningful to me. But don't say something that does not make your heart sing with joy. Does that make sense? I mean it. If there's something that you're encouraged to use for verbiage that just does not fit your vibe, we will find something different.
I wonder, is it like flex your thighs?
I don't want to say flex your thighs. That's not correct. But that's just me being a stuck-up snob with anatomy because flex means to bend your knee. And extend is what the quad's job does. The quad does not flex your knee. The quad extends your knee. So it's against my religion to say it. I'm not going to shut you down for saying it if you feel like it's going to resonate with your students. You know what I'm saying?
For your quads, is that
Well, you know what? There's a wonderful idea visually about thinking about your quad reaching back to your hammy and your hammy reaching up toward your quad. That gets a little meta, but it's true. And that's dynamic tension. That's the first principle of alignment. So that's what the fun of teaching is. You get to craft this dialogue like it's a poem that you're writing and refining and writing till you find a way that makes your heart sing and will hopefully be in the shape of a verb, your body part. Yeah.
Do you flare your toes? Or
Always, without fail. In your sleep, in the shower, meditating, always. Because here's why, guys. If I just flex my ankle, like that's fine, that's straight, and no one's getting hurt. If I point my toes, I'm just recruiting my calf. It just makes your calf light up. But if you flare out the base, look, it's still the pointy ankle, but now I've got all this maneuvering room. And Julia, this is so good to look at. Guys, we were talking about turnout and about the ankle and about the feet and the arches. I'm gonna be your wall, your ballet bar here. Watch, keep going. When you squeeze the buns, you get an external rotation of the femur. So to square the hip, it's really hard to square your hip if your ankle is flexed. So flex your ankle, yeah, and then try to square your hip from there. The foot on the floor is having a hard time with that, watch. But if you point your toes and then flare your toes, like you can roll your outer hip down a little bit easier. It's almost like a hand on a doorknob. But she's got turnout, so this is always going to be the position that your leg goes to. That's what this, in fact, guys, it's easier if we're on all fours. Let's just hit that. Everybody, let's go to tabletop. Then you don't have all the drama of balancing. But extend your left leg back. Flex at your ankle just to do it. And you see here, what that does is it squeezes the glute. The glute is an external rotator of the femur. Now, a lot of our buddies who have the turnout, that is a big deal. So if you roll your outer thigh in, a medial rotation, then your hips are square. Now point your toe, but then peel back, yes. And then drive this like that. That's your deal. See guys, level, recruited. This is recruited. You feel that muscle working now? It's a rotation internally. Yeah, see? Yeah, see? Yeah, yeah, see? Now hold, steady, hold. Now roll, yeah. The idea is that we're getting this external rotation and it will really be helpful to just, jazz up right there. Because if you just flex, all you're doing is squeezing the glute and externally rotating the femur. But when you medially rotate, and you point your toes like you're going to touch the wall, but then peel your big toe back. Yeah. See the diff? You got recruitment here, pushing here. Does that make sense?
So when you flare your toes, you externally rotate a little
Oh,
bit.
guys, it's not an external rotation. Guys, team, we gotta figure out our lingo here. If I am laterally or externally rotating, my thigh's going this way. I want to medially, internally rotate. Yeah. So medial rotation, internal rotation, that's what squares the hips. Lateral rotation, external rotation, that's getting into Ardha Chandrasana from power class. That's all external rotation. So hold. So see how Subra's foot is expressing? See how his leg is expressing? Everything is externally rotated. It's because he's squeezing the glute, and the glute has a job. One of its jobs is external rotation of the femur. But if we want internal rotation, we got to dial this toward the midline, right? And so a wonderful thing to try, yep, is a push through the ball of the foot. Now see, this muscle here, did you guys feel this one get jazzed up? That misses out unless we do this extra step, doesn't it? Right? You get nothing on the inner thigh line by just squeezing the glute and externally rotating. But it takes, right, that hug of the spiral of the medial rotation. And I submit to you humbly, when you point your foot, right, it's not a point, it's not a flex, it's a point. It's almost like you're taking your hand like it's turning a doorknob, right? That's just externally rotated. That's just a jacked up calf. That doesn't implicate your inner thigh line at all. But this activity here, internally rotating, it really gets the whole inner thigh line. Real hard to get to that muscle because it's a synergist. It's not a prime mover. It's not used to driving the bus. This is used to driving the bus. This is used to doing all the work. So that's what yoga does. It takes these big muscles that do all the work and it helps you refine these inner, more intrinsic core muscles. So balancing stick, you'll notice, or airplane for that matter, yeah, it's real easy to get here, right guys? But square your hip, roll your outer hip down, inner thigh bright. It ends up being a little easier if you flare out the base of your foot. Now it's really hard to cue in real time. That's why coming to all fours is a great way to get your point across because, you know, you can walk around the room and help people figure this out before they were balancing on one leg. But again, Tula, let's say it, Tula. Dandasana, balancing stick. So it's traditionally taught, right? You step forward, right? You get here, and then what? You step back. You keep your arms up. Yeah. And ostensibly, when you teach it that way, it's a 10-second posture, unless you're taking Vital's 90-minute Hatha class. I swear to God, it's a 90-second posture. But every damn day, I'm like. But so an idea, you could keep them like this, you could work on this stuff, it's very character building, or you bring hands to heart, bring the arms behind. Now what's different between arms out parallel here or arms behind here? What's the difference?
Easier for them.
Yeah, and you don't get so much shoulder tension. All right. Questions? Yes.
Point, is that
Oh yeah, yeah.
I'm just curious, like, I like it.
Flex,
So it means
point,
together.
flare, point. It's currently sweeping the nation. I didn't have the grapes to put it in the book. But, you know, it's kind of one of those things about how you're searching for a way to communicate this on the fly. And it just breaks my heart to see a lot of times, you know, just a full blast recruitment of this, which has no finesse on the inner thigh line. And it's real hard to balance. Because remember, when you inform the foot in the air, it informs the foot on the floor. So it's just a missed opportunity. Because you add to that the drama of people squeezing their toes. So flaring your toes is a great way to get out of that habit too. But this is just the fun of this whole prospect. We're just these minutiae. Sometimes these details that can seem a little overwhelming. I saw your hand up too, Julia. What was your question?
When you're in the ear,
Uh-huh.
how do they know this is parallel or?
Great question. Great question. Great question. Great question. When people are in Tula Dandasana, balancing stick, it ends up being a little bit of a back bend. And those of you who have a back bend, it's real pretty. You bring your arms behind your ears, your leg is a little higher than the midline. It's really, really gorgeous. And the idea is pretty much parallel to the floor. When it's airplane pose, Dekasana, and the arms are behind you, it ends up being an opportunity to bring your torso down lower than parallel and bring your leg higher than parallel. And then this ends up being an expression we call swan, which ends up coming into perhaps say a standing split or a handstand or a revolved sugar cane. So see, that's a great question. Should the torso be parallel? Should it be below parallel? It depends on why. What are you doing it for? What's your goal? If your goal is Hatha and you're teaching just a standard balancing stick, yeah, it's pretty much designed to be pretty much parallel, right? Yeah. But if it's airplane Dekasana, then it ends up being below, yeah, sequencing. In yoga, that's why we have Hatha, which says nothing, something, nothing. Power, Sunday next weekend, yo, just so you know. Turning the page to power. Sunday next weekend, so thank you for putting up with Hatha. This is a pain point. I want to let you know that. I probably just created drama where there was none, I'm sorry. Just in case you're not having fun. No, the idea here is with sequencing, yeah, here you are, say you're in a crescent lunge, and then you turn that into an airplane, right? Now you know your next thing is you're going to say a standing split. So Julia, this is where you would say, oh yeah, bring your torso below parallel, because the next thing we're going to grab is this. So do you see how you would choose one, if it's Hatha, for the purposes of nothing to something to nothing, nothing to something to nothing, or if it's power and it's just the next thing we're doing. Yes, our next door pose to the 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 next door pose. So juicing and smoothies, they do different things. Yeah, questions? Okay, now if you were teaching just straight up balancing stick, where do you want them to look? Mirror? Floor? A little bit ahead of the mat. A little bit forward of the mat. Why is that? This is true. To maintain the chin off the chest idea. So notice how if you're teaching balancing stick as balancing stick, people are going to cave in. My teacher says, pretend there's a little knife there. I'm like, whoa, that'll get your point across. Pretend there's a little knife under your chin. Sure, that'll keep my chin off my chest. So that does the trick. People are like, okay. Then you're looking forward of your mat. If I look right down at my mat, do you see how my chin collapsed? Yeah, I want to look a little forward of my mat. Yeah. Okay.
Not to your hands.
Not to what? Correct. Correct. In balancing stick, you look forward of your mat to keep your chin in the neutral space off of your chest. I wouldn't look at the hands if my hands were together.
Warrior 3 you do that, right? Like in Warrior 3?
Yeah, Warrior 3 has a lot of choices. When we teach Warrior 3, say we're coming in from a crescent lunge, guys, I encourage you for the all levels class to start off in airplane so that everyone's back is happy, and then invite the arms forward, because this is going to be, everybody can be here. Some people can be here. But to mandate, hey, we're here, now we're going here, ow. Like if they're healing here, and then you say, it's okay to bring your hands to heart, I feel like that's going to hurt them. It's a little too late for that now. So that's number 7 of your 7 priorities of alignment. Adjust leverage as necessary. So we'll learn in sequencing, safe transitions start off at the everybody idea. Crescent lunge. Let's take Warrior 3. Bring your hands to heart center. Inhale, lift your chest. Exhale, launch. Look at the floor. Now going further, bring your hands to heart center. Extend them to the front of the room. Now I wouldn't endorse looking in the mirror in Warrior 3. Yeah, jacks up your neck. What was that?
Oh, yeah, in the front and the front.
Yes. Yes. Because what's our goal with the neck always? To keep this curve. So if I had them in Warrior 3 and I had them look up, like look at my shoulders. Are you happy with my shoulders? They're jacked up. But look, it's just a variation of what? Mountain pose. Right? You're so cute. It's a variation of mountain pose. Oh. Da, da, da. Da, da, da. That's a mountain pose, just with a leg up and arms up. And then looking, okay, that's this pose. We walked in like this because we were in traffic. We were looking at a screen all day, right? They walked in like this. Yoga, right? Life, yoga. Life, yoga. Okay, cool. Are we ready for the quarter turn? So in the sequence, yes, when you're normal life, you step it forward, you do the things, step it back. Keep your arms up. Keep your arms up, right? Keep your arms up. God help you if you drop your arms. Second side, step it back, relax. Usually a second set. But here we are. So any questions about this? We're stepping, you look, hands heart, airplane, look forward if you like, change. Second side, step it forward, lift it up, body down, leg up, hands to heart, square it off, airplane. You can look down, forward or up, change, feet to meet, quarter turn. And then here we go. You guys ready for Dandayamana Bibhakta Paschimottanasana? Let's say it. Dandayamana. Bib. Hak. Ti. Pada. So I always think of a baby with a bib and they're going to hak. Hak. Okay, that's why they're wearing a bib. Hak. Bibhakta Pada. Bibhakta Pada. Paschimottanasana. Paschimottanasana. Now, Uttanasana, you already heard about. Remember, Uttanasana? Yeah. The two T's are holding hands and they're stretching. Paschima, does anybody own a pashmina scarf? Yeah, Paschima is the west side. Paschima means west. Pashi means west. So it's a west side stretch. West side. We're stretching the west side of the body. Paschima, west. Why is this the west side of my body? Because I'm saluting what? The sun. And where does the sun rise? In the east. So if I'm stretching this side of my body, it's presuming that I'm facing the east and that I'm getting this posture. Now, guys, we all have very different limb length. We all have very different range of motion. So you know that sometimes if you have too wide of a stance, look, can I bend my elbows? No, but I'm checking what box. Oh, I put my forehead on the mat. That's awesome, but I'm not doing anything. Similarly, if I'm too short up, yeah, I could probably get the good grip behind and then the pull, and that's fun, and that'll be character building. But I don't think I'm ever going to touch my face to the floor. So, you find your own jam here, and let's talk about this posture because it's different than just the wide-legged forward fold, prasarita padottanasana, in which you do look at the back wall, and then maybe add your inversions or your twists, right? Just so you know. What are the two themes of Hatha poses? Compression and extension. So Dandayamana Bibhakta Pada Paschimottanasana, there's nothing restful about it. I mean, you're upside down, so what does that do for you? When your head is below your heart, what does that do for you, friends? Blood goes to your head. Yeah, it totally chills you. It relaxes us. When your head is below your heart, it's very relaxing. It's the opposite of a back bend. However, DBP, as we can just call it by its handle there, separate leg, standing separate leg stretch, standing separate leg forward fold, is a very active arm posture. Heck, it's probably the only chance our biceps get to work in yoga, except for when we're on our back, doing pull, 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 right? So one thing we want to watch out for is, are the elbows away from the shins? If the elbows are away from the shins, there's going to be very much tension in the upper shoulders, right? But the elbows behind the body, then you can leverage the pull of your biceps. We work into the toe pads. And again, friends who have tension in stretching behind their knees, what should you be doing with the fronts of your legs? Come on in, Linda. Hi, Linda. Come on in. So what is the advice that we've decided to give? Yes, soften your knees. What else? What was going on with the quads? We were so excited. We came up with 15 different verbs. If flex your quads is resonating with you and that you really want to hang your head up, say it. You know, jazz up your quads, lift your kneecaps. Okay, right. So you would say, hey friends, notice here the temptation to lock out your legs. Notice a chance to microbend your knees a little bit. You know, lift up your kneecaps a little bit. Flex the quad muscle. Raise, yeah, there you go. See, we're shopping around with the different ideas. So now, Subra, you are a little tighter in the hammies because you're starting out yoga. Can we put you into this posture? All right, friends. So let's ask ourselves now, if we're going to cue him into this posture, where do we want him on his mat in this sequence? Well, in this one, we went like this. We stepped and then we wound up in the middle. Yeah, we're actually at the very front because one of the feedbacks from general population was, am I spending the rest of my life? Am I spending the rest of my life? Am I spending the rest of my life? Am I spending my whole life? I mean, like my foot and the hip are materially different on this side, and I know why. Because this, like it's my job 3 times a week. So in deference to these people with their feedback and general population, we're starting at the front, we're taking the wide stance, and we're just gonna live here. We did the wide fold, we did a Trikonasana, we did a second side, we did a second wide fold with different variations, then we shortened the stance, and we're doing pyramid instead of DBJ, and then we're stepping it forward and then hitting the tree. So we're eliminating, and you come see my foot and ankle and hip, I'll tell you stories. Like, watch this. Going into dancer, look, it's always this. Look, this foot has to turn in because of that repetitive movement. Same thing with my eagle. Every day, I notice it's this, and then watch, it's always this. Always. Not on the other side because of the misalignment. Dirty little secret. So we're eliminating that in this offering by bringing him to the front of the mat. So step to the front of your mat, sir. Take a quarter turn to your prop wall and bring your feet together, toes and heels to touch. But stand on this. There you go. With your feet together. There you go. Okay, perfect. So inhale, circle sweep your arms up. Yep. Exhale, do what? What's some good verbs, guys? So touch your hands, and now what do you want? Do it. Step to the step to the left. So if you step to the back of your mat, he might. Yeah. Step out wide. Step your legs what? Leg length apart. Leg length is a good first shot. So Subra, step wide and line up your feet under your hands. Step wide. Inhale, circle, sweep your arms, touch your palms. Exhale, step out wide. You paid for that whole mat. Take up the whole mat. I'm just being silly. Yeah, step out to about your leg length. So step out wide. Yeah, step to the left. Boop. Perfect. Now, what we love is that first shot of getting their hands lined up with their feet. That's a pretty good 99% of the time arrangement. Okay. Now, my friend is a little bit tighter back here because he's newer to yoga. So watch what happens. Inhale, lift your chest. Exhale, fold in half. So fold forward. Yep. And here's what we learned last week, right? And our goal is to make this what? Flat, straight. So holding his legs and locking out his knees, just keeping this the same. He's got long arms. So if he touched the floor and then got organized here, what's the first body part we could move to make this flat, guys? Yes! Bend your knees a tiny bit. Yes? Good! Look! Done and doner. Yeah. Now, yes, the goal of this posture is to pull, pull, pull. So let's see how holding here might help you get some muscularity here. Okay, and now can you hold here? Okay, can you look here? Okay, now can you straighten here? Yes. There we go. hold. So see how we kind of went a little too far? Dial it back a few, yes. That way we kept this in its convex shape. This is as flat as we're gonna get today. But you saw how he started to overshoot, he started to overachieve, started to straighten the legs, jacked up his back. So this is a great place for you today, because is this where you're feeling it?
Yes.
It's not even my body and I feel it here. It's amazing how you have this energetic empathy for a student. You're like, okay, right? You can feel this. But he's breathing. Yes, Julia.
What if he widens his?
Let's see what happens. Subra, make your legs wider. Mat width. Hanumanasana. Yeah. Yeah, baby. Touch the floor here. Okay. Loving, because I see you practicing with your feet very, very, very far apart. The concern is we can't hold the outsides of the feet now and leverage the arms. So hold your feet. Yeah, and so maybe we're too far now. We're on neighbors' mats now. Okay, and then now we're looking good. Fold forward, touch the floor. See if you can hold on to your knees, shins, or like, so it's kind of hard to get a grip from here. We're kind of almost in a split. This is true, yeah. But his looks pretty oppressive being that far apart. So let's bring your feet in a little bit closer, just a little bit, because Julia's idea was pretty sound. Bring your arms out like airplane. Inhale, lift your chest. Now fold in half. Now hold on to your knees or your shins, or as able, lower outside your feet. Soften your knees a bunch. Now bend your elbow. Yeah, see? So helping him kind of find where he's going to stay to keep all the priorities while he's stretching here, that's our goal today. Okay, are you okay there for 3 breaths? Okay, this is great. Okay, now bring your hands to hips and lift your chest, chin, and eyes, and stand up. Okay, so let's shorten your stance a little bit and pause. Are you okay there for a second? Okay. I actually like this as a starting spot, because then he doesn't look like he's coming out of the joint sockets of his hips. But again, it's his range of motion today that we're learning about. Bring your arms out wide. Inhale, lift your heart. And exhale, fold in half. Reach down to hold the ankles or your shins or what have you, so that you can make your back flat. Yes, soften your knees. And tilt your tailbone up a little bit. That's money. That's the happiest his alignment has been this afternoon. Yeah. Bring your hands to your hips. Lift your chest, chin, and eyes. All right, and stand on up. Perfect. Perfect. Now in the sequence, what pose would we do next, guys? Triangle. We will identify your right foot toes, pivot them to the front, bend your knee. Bend your knee. Yes, hold. Now it stays there first. So what pose is this in our power yoga? Yeah, it's our warrior 2. Now guys, can you be in this for a little bit? Oh, yeah. Okay, so great. I'm loving where everything is. And see how his torso's in the middle? Reach a lot to the mirror. Yeah, like kind of bend. I'm trying to show them how to mess it up. If you reach yeah, sometimes you see this in this pose. People are very excited and they're reaching forward. So maybe you want to come back here and encourage them to pull back to me, pull back to you. Yeah, keep your lunge, but yeah. And then they're able to center their torso in the middle. Great question last weekend about bandhas. We learned that it's not so much about do a pelvic thrust. No, it's about pulling your lower abdominals. All right, now flip your palms. So there, yes. And so maybe like there, this. Now look at your back thumb. Did you guys try this today in class when I said look at your back thumb? Tilt. Place your elbow to your knee, but keep your knee bent. Yeah, hold. Perfect. Now raise your top hand high. When as you guys were looking at your thumb, you had a nice long neck. But yes, we could always look down, forward, or up. And so here we go. We're kind of worried about your hips, Subra. So we're reaching too far. Remember, guys, if you're touching the tricep to the floor, you're out of alignment. Yeah, come on up, keep your lunge. So go change. Come on up, keep your lunge, straight your leg, parallel your feet. Let's find your second side. So turn your, see, now guys, look, the back foot's gonna come with. Focus your attention cueing the front foot. Turn your left foot toes, bend your knee. Hold. Now, this is so much better than last weekend. Remember how his knee was towards big toe like crazy last weekend? It is dead center now over his heel. Flip your palms to parallel like that, and then I'll look at your thumb. See how this, this one, sorry. See how this keeps his neck nice and perfect? Now tilt, just touch this to this. But no, straight arms. Yeah, touch this to that, but keep this bent. Hold. And soft here, but spike here. Look at Subra. Subra, this is like so much better than last weekend. Did you do a bunch of Hatha this week?
Yeah.
You did. Look at you. Got a master's degree in Hatha in 7 days. Come on up, keep your lunge. Okay, and now straighten your leg. Now high triangle, touch your palms. This is designed just kind of to bring everybody to the same thing. High triangle or star pose, you hear it sometimes? Yeah, okay. Now bring your hands to hips. Shorten your stance significantly. Heel toe your feet in. I'm trying to think of other verbs here. Scooch, heel toe. What else comes to mind? Scooch, heel toe, heel toe. Kind of the universal, isn't it? Invite, draw, help, scoot. Place your hands to your hips. All right, now turn to the back wall. Pivot on your heels and turn all 10 toes to the back wall. Yeah. Heels are something to pivot on. Because look, that didn't knock a thing off your knee, huh? All right? Now let's shorten your stance significantly for pyramid. So you're doing great. Put all your toes like you had them. Love it. Now he's on a balance beam. You can tell because he's on the same pattern. That's a tightrope, friends. He's going to fall. So what foot would we want to adjust first to widen the stance? Maybe the front one, just because he can see it better. So scoot your front foot a hint to the door. Yes. Now straighten your legs. Do you feel a little more stable now?
Oh yes.
Yeah. He was on a balance beam, and especially ladies, guys, our hip sockets are a little bit wider. How we're built. So for us to have two heels in a line, it's very risky. I got no problem with this. For chicks, hip, knee, toes. It's just safer. But you'll hear a lot of times, no, keep your heels in a line. Well, if you're already gonna wobble and fall, there's nothing good happening. And if you're a woman and your Q angle, you don't have femurs like railroad tracks. They're here, huh? So that's a good thing. Lift up and then drape forward. Show us your hands, please. You did reverse namaskar today. Oh, live the dream. Check it. Isn't that fun? Look at that. It's like, well, like it's hard. Yes, it's very hard, so but nobody can do that. Inhale, lift your heart, and exhale, drape your torso in line with your leg. Now, this is about hamstrings. So he's going to hit a bump, isn't he? It's going to hurt at some point. So touch the floor with your hands, and I'm going to get you some blocks. He needs blocks to be able to straighten the leg, huh, guys? And so this is definitely an opportunity for some props. It's also an opportunity for me to check my timing. It's 3:30. We're out of here at 3:45. We're doing well. We're doing well. Yeah, there. Now, pyramid pose, Parsvottanasana. Again, you're hearing the Uttanasana. So what's telling you what kind of pose? The stretch. Yeah, two little letter T's pulling each other apart. So where do you feel the stretch here? This is actually a stretch. Remember I said a lot of poses aren't stretches. This one is. Where are you stretching, guys? Yes! Huge! Your entire front leg straight, but not locked and crushing, right? Chin to shin is the idea. DBJ is forehead to knee, but this one is a little safer for general population, that it would be two straight legs, and as able, over time, drawing chin toward shin. This is his current range of motion. Questions? Yeah, chin to shin on pyramid, Parsvottanasana. Forehead to knee on Dande Manabhibhakta Janushirasana. All right, now change. Bring your hands to hips. Parallel your feet to the prop wall. And now pivot all your toes toward the front. And again, guys, why should we shorten the stance? It just seems like it would be kind of painful from here. Yeah, see? Does that look? Yeah, squaring up. And again, helping the front foot just a tiny bit over to the side. Perfect. And it's still nice and straight. And now show me where your hip markers are. His AS-IS bones, he's holding onto them. And you know that alignment is this. Lined up with what? Middle of the knee. Lined up with what? Sorry, friend. The space between second and third toe. That's money. That's railroad track. Perfect alignment. Inhale, lift your chest. Now, people, if they can, they will hold their grip. But this is probably safer knowing what his range of motion is in his hammies today. and relax your torso. Drape, align. You know, you want to drop, fold, bend, go, press. Yeah, inhale here.
Did you say like melt?
Melt is nice. Yeah. So fold forward. And again, I'm coming with the blocks. I should have had that there. No tip for me. Sorry. Press your heel, pull your hip back. Does that resonate? Press the heel, pull your hip back. Pull your front hip back, help your back hip forward. That's so much more fun than left and right. You're upside down. Who knows their lefts and rights upside down? I don't know them right side up. So love this. He's got a little softness here. Now you're still getting a stretch here?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, but if he forced it straight, you know right where he'd hurt.
Then he would overextend it.
Totally. He could rip something. And that's where students are eager to please their teacher or accomplish something. I really appreciated the pep talk the third DVD gave us about honoring where your body is today. Now your back leg, you could be straight. Like, let's straighten your back leg. Yes, Julia.
I was just about that.
You were worried about the back leg?
His heel is hard.
Yes.
I was wondering if it's like to bring his left foot closer.
Yes. So just like Julia said, step your back foot closer, and then he's able to achieve what? Yeah, the heel down.
Heel down.
Perfect. Good eye. See, you're already thinking like a teacher. It was incompatible for your eyes to see that and call it good. So that's teaching. Nice work. Yeah, guys, the back leg can straighten without any problem. I mean, don't you find that? You're always so surprised about how you could really straighten your back leg. Everybody can. It's the front leg that's the issue, because that's where the line of pull is on this front hamstring. And that's where we're just going to learn about today's range of motion. All right, now, change. Place your hands to your hips. Step forward, feet to meet. Boop, ba. That's it. So questions? Thank you. I knew you probably didn't know you were going to demo 5 poses just now. I guess I was just sort of turbo timing it to get us to 3:33. But you brought up a good point. Like, how do I learn this new sequence? Well, we're all starting from scratch. Questions about pyramid? Yeah, but I would love to devote a little time as to my concerns with that posture. You ready?
That was where you get like,
Yeah.
thyroid stuff.
Well, there's a lot of opportunity for us to tuck our chin in, because the thyroid stuff, moving lymph around the body, that is a thing. But you know what? There's a lot of ways to move lymph around the body that don't cost you low back. So when I weigh the risk and reward,
I don't want to do that because you think it's not.
well, I don't want to do it because no one's doing it right, no one's teaching it right, and everyone's getting hurt, period. Okay? In power yoga, when we do pyramid, you never see sequences that bring long limbs away from the midline into pyramid pose. This whole prospect of having your long limbs away from the midline puts pressure here, right? Now, done properly, like in this room 3 times a week, 15 times a week, however often it's taught in this studio, it's taught very properly because our teacher tells you to tuck your chin, right? And to have at it. And as able, place your forehead to knee, right? Hands can be separate or what have you. And this is how we're cued to keep your chin tucked in and come up in a solid piece, okay? Then untuck your chin. That's not how it's being done or taught anywhere. The thing that's happening, and I'm only going to show you this once because it is going to hurt me severely, and I love you, so I'm going to do it. You see students locking this out, hyperextending their knee like crazy. Their arms are here, and they think that it's pyramid, so they're keeping their back straight. Now, right away, this is a compression pose, not an extension pose, isn't it? It's a compression pose. This is about your organs. It's not about extending anything other than the legs after the fact. So people are coming into it like this. And I got no worried about that because you're going with gravity. No one's going to die, right? And once they're done with all this mess down here, they lock this out. They hang out here. Their arms are here. And then they're rolling up. Unsupported forward flexion, locked out knee, arms way far from the core. Everyone's getting hurt, and I'm over it. There's so much less risk and tons of reward coming into what people want anyway. They're straightening their legs because they want the stretch. They don't understand that there's nothing stretching here. This is a compression posture for your thyroid, parathyroid, boosts your metabolism, helps your endocrine system, yabba dabba doo. There's a lot going on, but everyone wants to do this. Everyone wants to do this because everyone wants to feel this. So why not just meet them where they are, do pyramid, and as a power teacher teaching a safe class, you would never bring anybody in and out from those limbs. We use pyramid for sequencing. Maybe we're down here in Prasarita. We come here, we get some pyramid. We take that to a revolved triangle. We shoot that into a revolved sugar cane, and then we kick it forward into a fold. We come up. Maybe we crow our way through our vinyasa. But we would never come into pyramid like a dummy. But I'm sorry. In 1971, the bodies were different. And in this year, day and age, everybody just wants the stretch, so why not just meet them where they are? Bend the knee, tuck the chin, round down. Hey, that's the way you do it safe, but here's how you come out safe that no one's doing. Everyone's got this jack, everyone's got this straight, arms are way the heck out here, and they're like this. And this is flaccid. There's no energy here. Everybody's keeping it, and then guess who takes the hit? L5-S1, SI joint. And since we recorded it, we should be able to bring our buddies up to speed. And God bless traditional. I do it 3 times a week without complaint. I teach the hell out of it when I'm paid to do so in this room. But when I look at general population, a part of me dies. So thanks for listening. I appreciate it, guys. I'm not trying to teach you something wrong. I'm trying to say, let's be smart. Let's look at risk versus reward. And I'm going to finish our lecture with this. Once upon a time, there was a woman. And she became a mom, and she became a cook. And she was going to prepare a roast for her family. So she pulled out the pan, she got the roast, and she had a knife, and she's like, man, I remember my mom would cut off some ends of the roast before she cooked her food. When she made this dish, I'm gonna call her up. Hey, Mom, remember when you used to make roast? Yeah. Okay, how much did you cut off the ends of the meat before you threw in the oven? What are you talking about? I saw you. You would always cut off the ends of the meat. Why did you cut off the ends of the meat when you cooked roast? She's like, honey, my pan was too little. So a lot of the things in yoga we do because we've always done it, and you come to stop the bus and inquire why, and it turns out to be, well, that's how I was taught, or you know what I'm saying? So thanks for listening. We are done with Posture Clinic. Tomorrow we'll pick it up back at the DBP and the Trikonasana and all that. And that'll be great because we'll have more friends here